Hi everyone, welcome back to Fleecimals Friday. I'm Michelle, and in today's video, I'm going to give you all my secrets on how to make fabric tags. When making stuffed animals and plushies, I find it very important to have consistent branding. For our plushies, that means having a paper tag with our logo on it, as well as a matching fabric tag. At first, when I started making plushies, I only had a paper tag, but I realized that once somebody got home, they could have removed the tag and that leaves no branding or identification. So maybe somebody gives this as a gift and later down the line they want to reorder. Well, if they don't have the tag, that leaves nothing to identify me as their business. So I looked into fabric tags, and this includes a wide variety of buying tags, how large, how small, where can I get them, and I found that nobody really had a video on how to make them. And since I'm a small business, I didn't want to start off and jump the gun buying 1,000, 2,000 tags right off the bat. So I'm going to take you along on my process that I figured out and share with you so you can add your branding to your plushies. So I use an off-white or white ribbon. This is polyester in about 3/8 of an inch. And I roll it out on my cutting table. And not exactly, but I usually cut it into 3-inch strips because that works really well for the size of what I'm doing. And I just keep cutting until I think I have enough tags to work with. Once you're done cutting out your ribbon, I have moved to Adobe Illustrator, but you can use any art platform that you're most comfortable with to lay out your logo. I have an 8.5 by 11 sheet here, and I've laid out my logo to fit our 3/8 ribbon. Now, as you can see, these are very jam-packed because I want to get my biggest bang for my buck out of my one transfer sheet. And I'm using a light transfer sheet because I'm using white ribbon, which means that I have to reverse out my print. All of these instructions will be included in your transfer paper, so just be sure to follow those instructions. But now that I have this all set up, I'm going to send it to the printer.
Here it comes. It's coming.
Very slowly.
Look at all those octopi.
Per the instructions in my pack of transfers, this has to now sit for a half hour. So we can't use it just yet. But with some TV magic, we already have some printed. Let's go.
We're back at the cutting table.
Back at the cutting table, and I have my sheet laid out. Now this one is a little half used because I have been using it as I've gone. But we're going to trim out our logos. So I'm just going to do one row for you. I use a very sharp X-Acto knife blade and a nice clear ruler so I can really see where my line is. And then I'm going to trim these out. And if you're faster and more comfortable with scissors, you can definitely do that as well. Now that I have a bunch cut out, I'm just going to transfer them in a small container just so I don't lose them, and it makes it a lot easier to transfer over to the ironing board. I have my tiny little Cricut iron preheated to a medium setting because we are working with a polyester ribbon. I find having a tinier iron makes it a lot easier to get very close with how small these are. So what I'm going to do is take my ribbon and lay out one of my logos face down. And I'm going to iron these on as if they were folded here in the middle. I'm going to iron them onto one side. So you don't want it straight in the middle because when you go to bend your ribbon, then your logo is going to be cut in half. So I'm going to set it off to the side a bit. Press one little corner just to keep it in place, so you can press the rest for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I then move this one off to the side and keep pressing the rest until they're all done. All of my fabric tags have now cooled. I'm going to very carefully peel off the lining to reveal the tag. And I just have a little container that I like to keep all my fabric tags in close to my sewing machine so they're easy to reach and still organized. you can now take your fabric tags and sew them directly into the seams of your plushies, and bam, you have your own logo tag. I hope you enjoyed this video learning how you can make your own branded fabric tags. If you did, be sure to like this video and follow along our journey for more by hitting that subscribe button. You can also leave a comment of how you're going to use this information as well as, ideas for next video. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye! When making stuffed animals and plushies, I find it very important to have consistent branding. For our plushies, that means having a fabric tag with our logo on it and a paper tag, and then we're gonna make the fabric tag. We have a paper tag, we're gonna make the paper tag.